And let me once again remind you of today's topic, which is studying engineering and management programs. I believe all of you want to do it on bachelor's level here, the programs that we are supposed to have. So the first speaker will be Hochschule Fulda, Bachelor in Science, Industrial Engineering, Life Sciences program, and presented by Caroline Stelling. And we also will have the last speaker as Professor Ott from Technische Hochschule Rosenheim, but she will be joining us a bit late. Now, I want to say a few words about the organizer of this session, which is My German University, Germany's largest study program database. I hope you are already familiar with this. If not, then check it out after today's session, because the programs that you are searching in Germany, all of them is searchable in our study finder. What is nice is that out of 24,000 plus programs available offered by German universities, you can always narrow down your search according to a very important criteria, such as your IELTS, TOEFL scores available, or admission restriction of the program, admission mode, and so on. And later on, you can always sort the programs according to your desired criteria. And of course, always have the information in one place. So for all programs, for the programs, you can see reasons why to apply, application document, also requirements on eligibility, and so on. So we believe this study finder should be very user-friendly, and you can find the suitable program in a short amount of time. Feel free to check out our articles. We have more than 200 comprehensive articles for bachelor's programs. I don't know if we also have now somebody joining from Germany, or could be also interested in studying in German or partially in German, and you need to use Hochschulstart. Then we have just published, or my team members have already published a series of, I think, 10 new articles about Hochschulstart, how to use it, and so on. And we are even preparing a webinar in this regard. So we always try to provide all the necessary information. Of course, these articles are in German. However, with today's extensions, you can read them also in English as well if you want. And of course, the webinars. We are happy to host more than 200 webinars per year. And those webinars have two groups, so to say. First, we provide general information about scholarship, uni assist, visa, studying in Germany, Chancencard, blocked account for a broader audience. So there could be anyone. And then we have subject-specific webinars. In today's case, it's subject and degree specific webinar, and this way we try to help you to connect with your future program already from your home country, so that you know all the application details and deadlines, and maybe in chat already get to know with your future program coordinator, which is nice, and clear in case you are in the process of application, also clarify your questions. Okay, this is our team. We are based in Hamburg, Germany. We are counseling in different languages. By counseling, please don't think it's one-to-one counseling or doing application on your behalf. No, but we are connecting you with your future program and also providing all the information that you can make application yourself, and also find necessary resources on our page. Give this virtual mic to Professor Thomas Martin, who will be presenting Bachelor's Engineering Program, Engineering and Management.
Thank you very much for the short introduction. I'm a professor for chemical engineering, and I'm also teaching in this English language program, Engineering and Management. As it is a dedicated session to engineering and management, you are familiar that it is a combination of engineering and business administration. And we are a small university in Merseburg. I will talk to you about that a little bit later. First of all, I want to introduce the program. It's a 6-semester program, so 3 years. We start in winter semester, and what has been said before, you need to apply to adhere to the application dates. But what's most important, please start as early as possible, because the limitation is not the administration at the university, no matter where, but the limitation is the visa application process. We have found that the visa application process can take a very long time, and you only get that after you get your admission or your conditional admission. Just a picture of the program. I don't worry about all the details, but I want to point out the color scheme basically. On the left, you see in the rows you have the semesters. So you start at the bottom, the first semesters, and there you start with the basics: mathematics, physics, chemistry. And these are the blue squares. All the blue squares on the right, on the left side, they are the engineering subjects. So you have every term, you have 3 engineering subjects. On the right side, you have the green squares. These are the business administration subjects. We are not, they are not taking place actually in Merseburg, but we have a collaboration with the University of Halle, which is a full university in about 20 kilometers away from Merseburg. It's a major city in Germany, a very big university, and we're collaborating with this program, in this program with them. And the teaching of the business administration subject is done actually there. And then the last column, the orange column, orange color, is the language program. So depending on whether you're a native German speaker, then you have either English or Spanish or whatever you like to choose, or you are a English native speaker or English speaker, and then you are obliged to learn German, because we would like you to understand at least basic German. You do not have any prerequisites for the German classes, so you can start with 0. And we aim for you to finish with A2. Yeah, so it's maybe if you're very good, you finish with B1. So within 3 years, you get a basic understanding of German. Yeah, so that's the structure of the course, and we are mainly geared towards chemical engineering, because Merseburg and Halle is in a chemical production area with a big oil refinery in the nearby by the TotalEnergies company. We have different other major world-class companies around this area. So that's why we are focusing on chemical engineering. You don't notice much of that in the first year, but in the second year, when you get introduction to process engineering, that's the subject I'm teaching, then definitely you will get into chemical engineering. Environmental engineering is the other focus. So it's both chemical and environmental engineering are the engineering subjects. Yeah, and then you even can specialize in biotechnology or environmental engineering or in plant design or other subjects. On the business administration side, that you see on the top bottom right, you have a lot of electives, so you can choose from a lot of different subjects. So career prospects, my colleague from Fulda just mentioned some of them. You are poised to be in an international career. You know, you have a good background in engineering, you have a good background in business administration and economics. Yeah, you are multilingual. Yeah, speaking English, you speaking your native tongue, possibly a different one than English. You have a basic grasp of German, so you are poised to be in the international career, in sales, in marketing, in technical, so that is technical sales, yeah, in the business estimation, for example, the cost estimation of large design projects. Yeah, here's some people. We have a course coordinator, particularly dedicated to this program, which is Verena Neumann. Excuse me. And the study advisor is my colleague, Professor Schubert, Ulf Schubert, who you see in the bottom. He should be here, but he's on holiday at the moment. Lucky him. Yeah, so I take over with him, and the top person is our general advisor. Anyway, so now I made you some appetite for a very good degree. So maybe you want to know, where is it? The Hochschule Merseburg is a very modern university of applied sciences. And we are in the heart of Germany. You see this map of Germany. Merseburg is indicated. Berlin is the spot on the top right. And the Halle, you see at the bottom on the right sketch, is maybe 20-25 kilometers away from Merseburg. Berlin, Halle-Leipzig is about 2 hours by train, and so on. The campus itself is a very green campus. It's very surrounded by lots of parks, and it is also everything is on site. It's a campus university, so the first building, the first picture you saw, is our main building where all the teaching takes place. But surrounded by that is, for example, the dormitories, our canteen, the sports facilities. Everything you need is very in closest vicinity of the campus. And the trees on this sketch are actually, it's not just like an artist's impression, but that's actually a park right next to it. So it's very surrounded, and it is about 20 minutes from the city center. So even that is not very far. The train to Halle takes about 10 minutes. So you are very quickly in Merseburg. Just some very few images. That's our president, Professor Krabes, a view in one of our larger lecture theaters, but typically we are quite small lecture theaters, very small groups, 10 to 20 to 30 people maybe. We have about 20% of international students, whereas in engineering it's even higher than that. So that's a very good ratio of international. So we have lots of international life. Yeah, so that's what I want to say. That's the university has all three parts, which is the engineering and natural sciences. So we have about 10 engineering degrees in German only. We have social work and media culture studies and economics and business administration courses. But that's just at side. The engineering and management course, which I talked about in the beginning, is now in its third year. So we started 3 years ago, and it is taking off very, very good. And we have a lot of interest in that program. Also, as a side note, you might want to know, because the other university is a little bit far away, with your study fee, which is a very small amount, about 200 euros per term, you will get the Deutschland ticket, which is the free ticket for the train ticket where you can use the rail in all Germany. So it's you get all the students get that with their registration and their study fees. Okay, I think my time is up, and if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them, and I hope to welcome you in Merseburg.
So, please, how much time do we have? 15 minutes or 10 minutes?
15 minutes plus 2 minutes if you wish.
Okay, let's see. This is the International Bachelor of Wood Technology in Rosenheim. We're in deep, dark Bavaria. So I thought that's a very good point to show people where we are located. So we're down by the mountains, very close to Munich. Actually, we're just 1 hour from the Munich International Airport, and there's a direct train as well. And yeah, not far from a number of countries. And I just had an excursion with the wood technology students, and we went into Slovenia and Italy, all just a few hours drive with a bus. So it's the center of Europe, as Germany is, but we're right in the bottom. And Rosenheim has about 6,500 students. We have 10 different faculties with numerous bachelor's and master's degree. I'm here to talk about the wood technology, but just so you know that it's a sizable university of applied sciences. And this year we celebrated 100 years of wood technology training in Rosenheim. We just had a big celebration because actually wood technology is how the university started, not 100 years ago, but they started with training wood engineers in 1925. So it's quite a long history. We have, as most universities of applied sciences, low professor to student ratio. We have lots of labs. We do a lot of lab work, and have a practice-oriented education, definitely. Low tuition fees, I'll talk about that in a minute. And of course, Bavaria is an extremely strong economic region. There's lots of businesses. Like Apple and Google both have their headquarters, for example, in Munich. So we offer the traditional bachelor's and master's degrees, and we're going to start doing PhDs soon as well. And as I said, we really put a lot of emphasis on practice-oriented education. So what you need to know about our program, though, is it's pretty unique. We start in the summer semester, and you do have to come with a certain level of knowledge in German, which is really quite a struggle for students. They want to just come, but what we want you to do in our program is to learn German. So we want you to quickly get into the German program, the actual wood technology German program. And so you start in English in your first semester, and already in your second semester, you have 2 courses in German, but you're taking German classes in parallel. And so our feeling is that this is the fastest way to learn a language. And Germany is a special place. It's part of this so-called DACH region, Deutschland, so Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. And there's many jobs, of course, but to speak German is difficult, and it is important. And so you may hear from my wonderful accent that I am not German. So I know this firsthand, that learning German is quite challenging. But we're offering this program to allow non-German speaking students to start their career or their studies in Germany and then learn German. And our particular program, as I said, it's very well known. Wood technology has been around for 100 years in Rosenheim, and there's jobs all over the world in wood technology. So what our degree brings then is this very strong relationship to Germany through the language as well. We have a lot of different labs. I mean, things in wood technology, we don't do forestry, right? But you can work for companies that do forestry. We have bachelor's and master's thesis to do with forestry, but we're really looking at wood technology. So we're talking about processing, and we're talking about wood materials testing. And you can see that then we also have relationships with people that do interior architecture, people that do construction. There's also, of course, those degree programs, but in German. But there's a lot of overlap. So there's a lot of opportunities also then to work in related areas, right? And as I said before, it's really a well-known program, and we have no problem getting our students jobs. You have to work in the degree, you have to have an internship. You also have to do a few weeks working in the industry, and then you have your bachelor's degree. And so all of these can be with wood technology companies. They're very anxious for our students. And it doesn't have to be actually like sawing wood. I mean, we're talking about people doing programming, doing robotics, doing production planning, doing design, doing sustainability topics. It's very varied. As the previous presentation already emphasized, it's important to start early. These things go through UniAssist. So we have our summer semester starting in March to July, and then the winter semester, October to February, and we always start in the summer semester. And this is our schedule. And probably if you're interested in this, you can go to our website. I have an information session also next week on the 23rd, 2 different times. So if you're interested, you can look at that. I post it in the chat as well. But what you can see is in the summer semester here, you do everything in English, and then you start with German already. And what's also interesting is these engineering classes are with our engineering program, which also starts in English and moves to German. So you're with a bunch of different international students. But you already start with specific courses. And then in the second semester, which starts in October, these two classes are actually with your German colleagues, the new students that have just started. Since you started a semester early, though, you take the German courses in parallel. Maybe that's a lot for one presentation, but I think I provide this presentation later to Nino. So, what you can also see, though, just glancing at this, and this is a great degree. I've taught in a lot of different universities. I'm an electrical engineer by training, and I've taught in various different programs. And it's fantastic. I mean, you get not only the engineering degree, but you do project management, you do business administration, you do product development and design, you do building. It touches on the sustainable subjects. You can see I teach courses that have to do with the IT systems for production control. And really interesting is this corporate planning and development seminar. Here, the students work in groups, and they have to develop their own plan to build their business in wood technology. So they have to look and find out where they're going to build the factory, what they're going to build, how much invest they need. They have to do the full investment plan. And I think students that finish this have learned more than students do in an entrepreneurship course in 2 years. And they all do this because this is what you need. You need to be able to do everything in the wood technology. You need to maybe in 1 year bring up a new production line or bring up a new factory. I can speak some things in German, Fabrik. And I have 2 theses right now looking at studies of if we can build in Bayern a cross-laminated timber facility. So it's really interesting. And they have a lot of electives built in. So if you are more interested in programming or robotics or sustainability or architecture, you can go into those in more deep depth for your electives. But it's a great degree. As I said before, you're going to need your A2 in German. You'll need a B2 in English. It's kind of standard. And the way the process works is also similar to other universities, but you have to go through UniAssist. And this means this always takes several weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. I think it's 75 euros at the moment, but you have to get their so-called VPD from UniAssist, and they'll check everything. So look on our website if you want more information about that, or contact me. I'm also including here the special guidelines for India. I'm from the academic side. I'm not involved in the admissions. So, but of course, this information is very important. All right, we are charging 500 euros per semester from this fall. This is actually, the money is only going to support international students because we need to make sure that we have people that can support you in looking for housing, looking for jobs, all the questions you have. So this is new. However, it's still extremely low compared to other universities. And we have estimated the cost, not including the school fees, just for living, between 900 and 1,200 per month for Rosenheim. And we also have websites with general information and information about part-time work, about getting your health insurance, that type of thing. And the last thing I wanted to say then is that Rosenheim's in a pretty nice place. We're right at the edge of the Alps. This is where people come for vacation. So it's very easy to, there's lots of little trains, and you can take the trains to go hiking, to go to the lakes around where we are. And of course, as I said, we're close to Munich, so that's also possible. Yeah, it's getting warmer in Rosenheim. Not as cold as it used to be, but you do have snow, a little bit of snow in the wintertime. And yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to say. If there's any questions, though, please let me know. The contact people are here. That's me a few years ago, and I'd be happy to answer anybody's questions.